In a quiet suburban neighborhood in California, there stood a beautiful yet simple house. Its lawn was always covered with green grass, birds chirped in the trees, and the morning sunlight streamed through the windows, filling the rooms with warmth. I worked there as a caretaker. The house belonged to Mr. Howard, an elderly man with white hair, deep eyes, and a gentle yet firm voice. Mr. Howard lived with his grandchildren, small children whose laughter filled the house with life. The youngest among them was a little boy named Alex, barely 3 years old. He spent his days playing, sometimes chasing his toys, sometimes watching butterflies in the garden with pure delight. One afternoon, I was cleaning the lawn. Mr. Howard sat on the porch in his wheelchair, reading the newspaper. The children were playing nearby. Alex wandered toward a water tap in the corner of the garden. With his tiny hands, he tried to turn the knob. His hand slipped, he lost his balance, and fell to the ground. For a moment, everything went silent. Then Alex's loud cry echoed through the yard. His older sister, Amy, about 6 or 7 years old, ran toward him immediately. Worry was written all over her face. She bent down and reached out to lift her brother. Just then, Mr. Howard's voice rang out. "No, my child, don't pick him up." Amy froze. Her hands stopped midair. She looked at her grandfather in confusion. I was startled too. An innocent child was crying on the ground, and he was being told not to help him? I walked closer to Mr. Howard and quietly asked, "Sir, the child is crying. Why did you stop his sister from helping him?" Mr. Howard folded his newspaper, fixed his gaze on Alex, and calmly said, "Son, you won't fully understand this right now. If today his sister lifts him up and comforts him, he will learn that whenever he falls, someone will come to rescue him. He will grow used to depending on others." I listened silently. He continued, "In life, no one is always there to hold your hand. If he learns now that he can stand up on his own, then tomorrow, when life knocks him down, he won't give up. He will know how to rise by himself." We both watched Alex. He sat on the ground, looking around, tears rolling down his cheeks. For a few moments, he kept crying. His sister stood close, but because of her grandfather's words, she didn't move forward. Then something remarkable happened. Alex placed his tiny hands on the ground. He tried to push himself up. He wobbled, fell to his knees, then tried again. His breathing was heavy, his eyes still wet, but he didn't give up. Finally, he stood up on his own. For a second, he just stood there, as if surprised by himself. Then, suddenly, that innocent smile returned to his face. He brushed off his clothes, walked back toward the tap, and started playing again, as if nothing had happened. Mr. Howard looked at me with a faint smile and said, "See? If Amy had picked him up, not today, not tomorrow, but every time he fell, he would cry and wait for someone to come. But now something has settled in his heart. I can stand up by myself." Life causes far deeper wounds than a simple fall. If we carry him in our arms for every pain, then when the world knocks him down, he will shatter. I want to make him strong, not addicted to comfort. His words sank deep into my heart. Taking a deep breath, he said, "This world is not a place that runs on support. Here, every person must learn to handle themselves. Falling is natural, but standing up after falling is true strength. Whoever learns this in childhood never completely breaks in life." All of us fall near some kind of water tap at some point, sometimes in relationships, sometimes in dreams, sometimes in exams, sometimes in love. We look around hoping someone will come, lift us up, comfort us, and carry our burden, and often no one comes. I stood there watching that little boy laughing and playing with water, but I was no longer just seeing a child. I was seeing a future strong human being. That day, I learned that real love is not always about holding someone close. Sometimes, real love is letting someone stand up on their own so they can learn to smile after every wound life gives them. Thank you for listening to this story and staying with us until the end. If these words touched your heart or made you pause and reflect, please support us by liking this story and subscribing to our channel. The next story we bring to you will be even stronger, deeper, and closer to real life. Stay connected with us because every story we tell is meant for someone who is still learning how to stand up again.